Leonardo da Vinci had a phrase, I just love it. He called it sapere vedere, which means to know how to see. To know how to see. He said the key to his art was that he had learned how to see, and then he could just represent how he saw things. And he saw things in ways most people didn't see them, and so he could represent things in art in ways that we couldn't imagine. Stephen Covey talks about the guy that finally gets a chance to fish. And he goes to a cool, silvery, rumbling brook. Just a perfect fishing spot. And he baits his hook, and he's all set, and he's got the line ready in the tackle box. It's just, the environment's wonderful. He's got a clear place to cast, and he can see the trout rolling by on the stones on the stony, rocky bottom. And he starts to fish, and he hears a kid yelling, help, help, help. And he sees a little kid in the water spinning around, got his arms up and everything, and kid's in trouble in the river floating by. And of course, in my imagination, it's only like 4 inches deep, so the kid's got some real swimming issues. But make the brook deeper. Ready? It's deeper. And the kid's bobbing around there, help. And so the guy puts down his fishing rod, wades out into the water, picks up the kid. Where are you from? The campground up the hill. So, all right, let's go back, little Johnny. Takes him up to the campground, returns him to the campground, comes back, gets his fishing rod, gets all lined up again, getting everything just ready. Help, help, help. Another little kid. He's like, Rumpelstiltskin, I just want to fish. He puts his stuff down, goes back out into the water, gets the kid. Where are you from, little Billy? I'm up at the campground up on the hill. Let's go up to the campground. After 3 or 4 times, this fisherman needs to ask, how come all these kids keep ending up in my fishing spot? Floating around drowning, needing help. And he investigates and finds out that there's a bully at the campground doing what bullies do. And he's chucking, to use my 6-year-old's word, he's chucking kids into the river. Now, how many of us are so busy in our lives addressing distressed kids instead of going and addressing the bully? See, when we don't understand systems, we'll spend all our time fighting the symptoms instead of addressing the problem. And by the way, in the case of the bully, it takes a little courage to address the problem too, doesn't it? Sometimes it does, to go to the real reasons. Another great illustration is you walk onto a scene, it's a laundry room, and your spouse is in there and mopping up like crazy, and it's a big mess, and water's everywhere, and they got the mop and the buckets and the kids and the towels, and they're just working like crazy, panicking. They can't keep up. Bringing up the water, trying to keep it from flooding the whole house. And then you notice over in the laundry tub, big old hole cracked in the laundry tub. You don't know how it got there, but obviously that's why the water's coming through. And yet the faucet's still running full blast. And here your spouse and kids are cleaning up all the water, faucet's still running full blast. How come you don't turn off the faucet? Are you kidding me? Look at all this water we got to clean up. Who has time for plumbing? These are funny examples of the difference between systems thinking and knee-jerk cause and effect thinking. And you can, some of these make it kind of fun to understand the difference. Leadership expert Peter Senge said this: the bottom line of systems thinking is leverage. Seeing where actions and changes in structures can lead to significant, enduring improvements. Often, leverage follows the principle of economy of means. We talked about means in the financial talk, didn't we? Economy of means, where the best results come not from large-scale efforts, but from small, well-focused efforts. What does that mean? Well, that means it's not enough to just learn how to see correctly, three-dimensionally, see the ramifications in the bigger picture, understand frameworks. It's not enough just to do that. We have to take another step further. We have to get good at identifying little pivot points, little leverage points, whereby we can get huge results for small inputs.